Hey, I'm Lieutenant Ken Washington with the Montgomery County Police City Constable's Office. Just like physical fitness is important to our deputies, Constable Ryan Gable is concerned about their mental health fitness. Let's talk to some mental health professionals for the 12-month fitness. Hey, it's Lieutenant Ken Washington, and I am here with...
I'm Priscilla Carrera from Carrera Counseling Services.
And I'm Ashley Brockman from Carrera Counseling Services.
So I'm glad you ladies are here because we're talking, of course, 12 months of fitness and why mental health fitness is just as important as physical fitness.
Absolutely. Actually, the connection between physical fitness and mental health is pretty significant. Research continues to show how much exercising actually helps boost your endorphins, your serotonin levels, and how it actually helps prevent or manage anxiety and depression.
Well, that's interesting, especially since we're posting a lot of the physical fitness aspects in our videos when we're talking to our deputies, things that relate to also the general public, and that's interesting to hear.
Absolutely. In fact, actually a lot of studies, there's a significant amount of studies out there about this, and they are showing that it can have almost similar effects to getting therapy and to antidepressants as well. So regularly exercising, even after one session of exercise, you see immediate mood boosting results.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what other aspects have you seen in regards to the people you've come across?
Exercising right after any kind of stressful day, especially with all the first responders we work with. I encourage everyone, go to the gym, move your body immediately after shift, or if you're a civilian in the population, hit the gym after you get off work. Mm-hmm. It's stressful, there's a lot of traffic. That does cause us to adrenaline dump and dump cortisol into our system. Mm-hmm. Moving your body in the way that you like, whether it's walking, dancing, intense HIIT workout, going for a run, moving your body in any way is good for you, and it helps your body process all those stress hormones rather than just sitting in them.
So the deputies have a very strong regimen they go through, right? They have a long day, long work week, whatever. They come across some really challenging situations. What are some of the things in regards to when you talk about mental health and counseling? How would that play into their mental health fitness, do you see? How does that work?
Well, I guess I can speak from, I'm a trauma therapist primarily, so I can talk about it from a trauma perspective. When we experience distressing events, our fight or flight response gets activated. And what separates us actually as humans from like animals, let's say, who are out in the wild and fight or flight all the time, right? Is that humans, we are taught very early to, stop crying or I'll give you a reason to cry, right? Calm yourself or else I'll calm you down. And so we're socialized to try to contain all of that stuff, when in reality, what we should be doing is actually completing that stress cycle. We should actually be exerting all the adrenaline that was just leveled up in our body from experiencing a distressing event. So exercise is something I always recommend, and I actually live it. I exercise, I move my body every day. And I know for me, even personally, it helps me process all of the vicarious trauma, all of the things that we hear in session as well. But it helps them process the physical aspect of that heightened stress. And so we talk about how we can do that and how beneficial that by itself can be, on top of obviously the therapy and any medications that might be necessary.
What suggestions do you possibly make, like when someone comes to see you, to tie into how to like get that stress off? I mean, obviously I'm going to the gym and I'm lifting and I'm doing all this running, but then the mental health aspect, what kind of suggestions do you normally make, or are there anything specific that come to mind?
I always recommend do it mindfully. Mm-hmm. Really, if you had a really stressful day or you got an email that really made you angry, think about some of that. Put that energy into whatever physical movement you're doing. You can release anger through using your muscles. Mm-hmm. Anger really loves that. Having that muscle tension and then feeling release through it. That is moving through an emotion. That is moving through stress. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I always recommend, starting a meditation practice. Mm-hmm. That is like building a mental muscle. You only have to do it maybe 5 minutes a day. And actually I recommend when you're getting started, only do it for 5 minutes a day. Because again, just like you can't one day decide I'm going to run 15 miles, You got to start small. Same thing with meditation. That helps you find this internal peace, find this internal mindfulness that helps you manage day-to-day stress. It helps you feel more in control of your thoughts and your own mind. So as much as we want to work out our actual muscles of our body, that's a way that we can work out this muscle in our brain.
You know, that's all really great feedback. I'm sure audience would love to hear that. I know the deputies would love to hear that. This information, especially during this month, with this Mental Health Awareness Month, most people are not aware, even to this day, on how these things tie in, but also into your physical fitness. So I do really appreciate you ladies being here and discussing it with us to see the things that deputies can use, but as well as the general public when it comes to 12 months of fitness.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Sure, thanks. Till next time, Lieutenant Ken Washington with the Montgomery County Police 3 Constable's Office, and I'm out.
Bye.
How the body ties into the mind.
We think of them as separate processes. I think with my brain, my body just helps me move things and move about the world. But they are connected completely. Anything visually, emotionally that the brain goes through, the body also does. Same thing with if the body experiences physical trauma, the brain tries to make sense of that. The brain will start to create a story about it. It is important in my line of work that I help clients understand brain and body, they are connected. How do we get them speaking the same language? So many different things happen throughout our lives as children and as adults that can lead to this brain-body disconnect. The name of the game becomes getting them connected, getting them on the same page, and talking to each other in a way where we're actually processing and healing both mind and body.
So if you want to be healthy, train the mind to be positive. So we're talking one point or theory that people can use to cope. And you were going to suggest.
Yeah, one thing I always go over with my clients is to have realistic expectations as far as how we prioritize things and then how we conceptualize how the mind and body are connected. And one thing that most of us know, if you've ever taken psychology, we all learn Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And Maslow states that if our basic needs, it's a pyramid, and at the very bottom of the pyramid are our basic needs, and at the very top, it's self-actualization, which is the best version of yourself, which we were all trying to reach, right? But if our basic needs are not met, it's going to be almost impossible to get above that to our emotional, occupational, social needs. And at the very bottom, that's the physical stuff, right? Are you hydrated? Are you eating food that's good for you? Do you have a home? Shelter is important, and sex is actually involved in that as well. So we have to make sure that we're meeting our basic needs, and that's how we understand how physical aspects also play a role in whether or not we'll be able to deal with our emotional aspects.
Mental health theory.